Hey guys, welcome back to another Sports Stuff video. Today, we're going to be doing an NFL mock draft all around one with trades post the Super Bowl. So now we know the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. We'll get to that when the Chiefs pick at number 32. But let's get started with this video. If you guys do enjoy, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Hit notification to be notified when I post next. Let's get into this video. Now that the NFL season is over, I can go fully into the mock draft season. Where I can do my rankings on quarterback, wide receiver, all the position groups, my top 5 guys at each position. I can't wait to get into that. But first off, let's start with a mock draft updated. Post all the signings. Post all the games that have now been played. Number 1, the Chicago Bears obviously still hold number 1 overall. In my opinion, I don't think they trade back. I'm officially on board with them trading Justin Fields. And I think a team that makes the most sense for Justin Fields to go to. If I can find it. Where is it at? I've been hearing a lot of smoke about the Pittsburgh Steelers trading for Justin Fields. Now, I don't know if it's a first round pick. Maybe it's a second and a future fourth or something. But it doesn't really matter. I just don't think it's a first round pick. So we're gonna do just a seventh. I think Justin Fields is gonna get traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think with Arthur Smith, I said this for a while, that if Justin Fields would fit best in Atlanta with Arthur Smith, because he's a perfect quarterback to run that type of scheme. And I think that now that Arthur Smith is now with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he gets that quarterback who I think can genuinely be better than Kenny Pickett. I mean, we saw that the Steelers gave up on Kenny Pickett. He came back healthy, and they still start with Mason Rudolph at quarterback. So I just don't see them keeping Kenny Pickett as their starter next season. And I think Justin Fields is a swing at a former top 15 pick, one of the better quarterbacks in his draft class. Take a swing, try and develop him for the next year or two, and see what you can make out of him. If anything, you move on from him, you get a comp pick wherever he goes. But that means the Bears do take Caleb Williams at number 1 overall. I just don't think there's any team now that is going to be able to give him a draft haul to trade back. Again, I've been a very big proponent for the Bears to trade back, get as much capital as you can, and go into next year's draft or into free agency and get a quarterback next year. But I think it's time to reset. You grab Shane Waldron. I really want to see Caleb Williams in a Shane Waldron system now that he's their OC. I think that makes the most sense for the Bears and for what they need to do to make this franchise, turn around and be better. The Washington Commanders are obviously very upset that they didn't get Caleb Williams. I think they'll settle for Drake May, though. I think that they'll happily take Drake May. He's still my number 2 quarterback. I don't like his vision. I think he needs to, look off receivers, look off his first and second read better. He doesn't go through his progressions. He hard looks his first receiver, makes the throw good. Like, he's a good pocket passing quarterback. My issue as well, though, is that Washington doesn't have a great offensive line. So is Drake May year 1 going to be succeed as much as we need him to? I think they have to put a lot of draft capital and a lot of money into this offensive line this offseason. And if the Washington Commanders can do that, I think they can make a run in the NFC East next season. Maybe go 8-9 wins. But I just don't know if they don't fix the offensive line, Drake May is going to struggle because he's definitely more of a pocket passer. Yes, he is agile and has some agility, but he's better when he's in the pocket. Then for the New England Patriots, I would like to trade down. I really would. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Because, Marvin Harrison's right there, right? You have Gerard Mayo. You have Christian Covington at DC. You have Alex Van Pelt at wide receiver. At OC. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. makes the most sense. The issue is what quarterback is throwing to him. But there's no you're not taking Jaden Daniels at number 3. I don't think that makes any sense. I am going to go Marvin Harrison Jr. He is still my wide receiver number 1. Malik Nabers would be my wide receiver 1 in any draft class outside of the one with Marvin Harrison Jr. I think it'll be interesting to see if this new look Patriots can develop wide receivers. They've not been particularly good at developing wide receivers, especially top-end talent wide receivers. So maybe with this new offensive core underneath Alex Van Pelt, they can get Marvin Harrison Jr. developing. And if they can, it'll be awesome. But day 1, he's your number 1 wide receiver. You got a wide receiver 1 for the next 4 or 5 years. Hopefully next 10, 12 years. Arizona Cardinals, there's 2 ways they can go, right? They can go Malik Nabers, get another weapon for Kyler Murray. Or you go Olu Fashanu, and you solidify your bookend tackles, which I think I'm going to do. You have Paris Johnson Jr. You have Olu Fashanu, who, in my opinion, Olu Fashanu is still the number 1 tackle. I like his size. I like the way he maneuvers with his size. I think he's day 1 the best pass blocking offensive lineman in this class. Needs some work on the run blocking, but the Cardinals still want to be pass first. under Jonathan Gannon and under Drew Petzing. They want to be pass first. So I really hope Olu Fashanu, if he does go to the Cardinals, is going to blossom into one of the better tackles in the league. And you can now have Paris Johnson Jr. and Olu Fashanu protecting Kyler Murray. That's the most ideal bookends that you can get. The 2 number 1 tackles in the last 2 drafts, in my opinion, in the same team. Then the LA Chargers. I'm also going to grab Joe Alt. Yes, I could use another wide receiver. This class is very deep at wide receiver, though. That's the only reason I'm not going to do it. With the Chargers, man, you got Rashawn Slater, right? You got Zion Johnson. And that's really it on offensive line. I mean, Corey Linsley's old, but he's still solid enough to start. Jamari Salyer was a 7th round pick, 6th round pick, and he's a starter. But you cannot have your right tackle that you had this past season. I'm blanking on his name, but I know his name. Is it Trey Hill? I think it's Trey Hill at right tackle. You can't have him start anymore. Joe Alt becomes your right tackle of the future. Him and Rashawn Slater, just like the Arizona Cardinals, you have quarterbacks that keep getting injured. Honestly, Kyler tore his ACL, came off his torn ACL, and Justin Herbert just got hurt. Like, keep your quarterbacks healthy that you invested all this money into, and I'm going to do that by drafting the best tackles I can to these offenses, and I think that'd be really good for developments of both quarterbacks and the offense. Plus, Joe Alt is a really good run blocker, and John Harbaugh, the new head coach of the Chargers, has already said they're gonna build their offense through the run game, and Joe Alt is one of the better run blocking tackles in the class. So I think that makes a lot of sense for the Chargers scheme fit. Then the Giants, I am going to go with Jaden Daniels. I think at 6 is the highest he'll go. Obviously, he's not going to be going to 4 or 5. They already have tackle quarterbacks. Don't think he goes over Marvin Harrison Jr. I think it makes the most sense for the Giants to grab Jaden Daniels. You now have your franchise quarterback. You can now trade Daniel Jones to whatever team you want to trade him to. You can cut him, whatever you want to do. I think the Minnesota Vikings make a lot of sense with Daniel Jones. I've been saying that for a while. And I just think you gotta go in a new direction. And Jaden Daniels is a lot like Josh Allen. He has a big arm. He has some mobility. He just needs to put it all together. And Brian Daboll was very instrumental in developing Josh Allen. I think if he can get his hands on Jaden Daniels, he'll be a franchise quarterback year 2 probably. Then the Tennessee Titans, I am going to grab Telis Fuaga. He is one of my bigger risers from the Senior Bowl. He was a mountain of a man. I think Telis Fuaga, if he doesn't go at 7, he's not going to go until 10, right? I think this is the highest he goes. I don't think he goes over either other tackle. Don't think he goes over Jaden Daniels. They already have offensive line as well. I think it makes more sense for the Titans to solidify offensive line, help protect Will Levis, help get this run game going. I think it makes the most sense for their team to start building the offensive line. Yeah, Peter Skoronski. Now you have Telis Fuaga. Yes, 2 years in a row you draft an offensive lineman. But your team is not doing anything if you don't have a good offensive line. Then at pick 8, the Atlanta Falcons. I think they do grab Malik Neighbors or Brock Bowers, Rome Odunze. I've been a very big proponent of them grabbing Jazon Newton. I think they need help. They need more help at defense. But I think I'm going to grab an edge rusher this time. I think I'm going to grab Jared Verse. As much as I think Dallas Turner might be the first edge rusher coming off the board just because of his skill set and his versatility, I think Jared Verse going to the Atlanta Falcons is a good scheme fit, right? Jared Verse, a 3-4 outside linebacker, going to a defense that likes to run a lot of 3-4. You have Grady Jarrett at nose tackle, D tackle role. I would like Jazon Newton, obviously, from Illinois, but I think Jared Verse helps that defense immediately, and they need more help at pass rush. Interior defensive line is being held down right now by veterans, and maybe you should build around that group and then eventually draft a D tackle. But I think round 1 at pick 8, Jared Verse is the pick. I would think about Rome Odunze, but I just don't think they would go Malik Neighbors right here. I don't think they would. I think the Bears do trade back here though, right? They grabbed Caleb Williams. I think they would like to draft a wide receiver, but I think there's going to be a specific team that wants to trade up back into the first round, and that is going to be the New York Giants. Excuse me. I don't really care. It's only a first round mock draft. There, don't really care. I think the Giants would trade back up to number 9. They would trade next year's first and multiple picks in this year's class. I think they would then pair Jaden Daniels with Malik Neighbors. That's the only reason the Chicago Bears don't draft a wide receiver right there. Now next year, you have multiple picks. You still have a bunch of second. You probably have a 2nd round pick and a 4th round pick this year. You'll probably get a 1st and a 2nd next year as well. I think for this team that you got Caleb Williams, right? You got your franchise quarterback you want to build around. You got your offensive coordinator. You got a solid offensive line. You got okay weapons. You're gonna have a lot of money in free agency. I think it makes the most sense when they get more draft capital now and get more late round guys. And I think Malik Neighbors, he would be a great fit in Chicago. But I think that a pairing of a first round pick, multiple day 2 picks, multiple day 3 picks, that would be better for this team and what their timeline would be than grabbing Malik Neighbors at 9. Again, this is a deep wide receiver class. They don't need a wide receiver 1. You have DJ Moore. But the Giants are desperate for a wide receiver 1. So I think they would take that risk in trading up and getting rid of next year's first round pick, kind of like the Texans did when they trade back up for Will Anderson. The Giants trade back up and grab Malik Neighbors for Jaden Daniels, because not only did you see with the Texans this past year, if you double down on the rookies and the young guys and say screw the future picks, we have this guy as a top 5 talent. We also saw with the Bengals, pairing up quarterback with wide receiver college duos in Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. So I think it makes a lot of sense for the Giants to do it. Then the New York Jets, I think they would then grab Rome Odunze. You need another wide receiver for this core. You got Garrett Wilson. That's basically it. Allen Lazard is on roster, but I just don't think he's going to be much help. Obviously, you need more help for Aaron Rodgers. I was thinking about tackle. If Talise Fuaga did fall to 10, I think they grabbed Talise Fuaga. But I think Rome Odunze is better than all the other options right now. Then for the Minnesota Vikings, I'm going to grab corner. I think that's still the number 1 need for this team is corner. Yes, obviously quarterback as well, but I just don't think any of the quarterbacks are really first round talent anymore. So I'm gonna grab corner. And is it Nate Wiggins? Where is he? I'm looking for. Is it Terrion Arnold? I think it is Terrion Arnold. I mean Kool-Aid McKinstry as well. Kool-Aid's my number 1 corner. There it is. Yeah, it is Kool-Aid McKinstry. Yeah, okay. So I'm grabbing Kool-Aid McKinstry. Go to the Minnesota Vikings. I wish I did a mock draft like 2 days ago, kind of planning out this draft. But I lost the file, so I can't find the file. So I believe it was Kool-Aid McKinstry. Not only is he a dominant zone defender, he's also a dominant man-covered defender. And for a Minnesota Vikings team and Brian Flores as a DC who runs a lot of zone, you want a dominant zone corner who can also play a lot of press man. And as you can see, 83.8 grade doing zone, 75 grade doing man coverage, only allowed a 48.7% completion percentage. Kool-Aid McKinstry's a lockdown corner. He's still my cornerback number 1. I think he makes the most sense for this team. Then for the Denver Broncos, see, it's interesting what they want to do. I think a trade back could make a lot of sense, but who are they trading up for? You know what I mean? I don't think it's gonna be offensive line. I don't think so. Wide receiver could make a lot of sense. Tight end Brock Bowers right here can make a lot of sense as well. I think I'm gonna lean secondary. Get a guy next to Pat Surtain. Is it Cooper DeJean? I'm thinking Cooper DeJean. They run a lot of man coverage, though. Is it Terrion Arnold who's really good at man? No, he's not good at man. Was it Quinion Mitchell? It was Quinion Mitchell. That's who it was. I'm driving Quinion Mitchell out of Toledo. Again, another really big riser during this offseason. Dominated at the Senior Bowl. Has been rising up boards already with people watching his film. I have yet to watch Quinion Mitchell film out of Toledo, so I'm just being honest with you guys. Have not watched any Quinion Mitchell film. But again, I watched the Senior Bowl, and he played amazing at the Senior Bowl. He has the measurables. I believe he's 6'2", 6'3". He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. But he has long arms. He has a good stride. He locked up Roman Wilson during one-on-one, where usually in the one-on-one drills, the wide receiver is always going to dominate and win with that second hesitation move. But Quinion Mitchell did not let up a catch against Roman Wilson. So I'm going to go with Quinion Mitchell out of Toledo to the Denver Broncos. Then the Las Vegas Raiders. This was tough, man. I'm going to be honest with you guys, because I want to go edge rusher, but they went Tyree Wilson last year. So they're not going to go pass rusher again. So I'm thinking corner, and I'm thinking Cooper DeJean. I think I'm going to go Cooper DeJean. I think Antonio Pierce would love a Cooper DeJean corner. Lockdown outside corner. Also has a lot of experience being a returner. But if you're going to be the cornerback number 1 for a team, especially in the NFL, you're not doing kick or punt returns. But if you want to shoot him out there, you can. But I think day 1, he's your cornerback number 1. This team has struggled with corner the last 6-7 years to find that true lockdown cornerback number 1. I think Cooper DeJean is your answer. He has the measurables. He has the size. He has the skill set to be a number 1 corner. And at Iowa, a prominent, college team that plays a lot of talented teams, he was locked down. I mean, look at Michigan State, dominated against Western, dominated against Iowa State, dominated against Rutgers, Wisconsin. Did good against Purdue, had a couple of bad games. But in my opinion, Cooper DeJean is still one of the best cornerbacks in his class. Yes, I did a run on corners right here, but usually what happens in the NFL is that when like wide receiver, let's just say wide receiver, when one wide receiver gets taken, 2 or 3 receivers get taken in a row. If edge rusher gets taken, 2 or 3 edge rushers get taken in a row. Because then all the guys that are drafted like, oh crap, there's a run in this position. Let me get my guy, reach a little bit for my guy. But no one's reached yet. I think it's pretty fair so far. I think everyone's gotten what they wanted. Maybe Quinion Mitchell's a little early, but I think he can go easily in the top 15 picks. Then the Saints, I'm going to keep doing it. J.C. Latham makes the most sense for me. For the Saints, Ryan Ramczyk's injury is being said that it could be career-ending. And this is one of the best pure right tackles in the class. J.C. Latham and Talise Fuaga are the 2 best right tackles in this class. And for where you're drafting as a Saints, Talise Fuaga is not reaching 14. So J.C. Latham, you're going to reach probably 4 or 5 guys past where you want to go, but solidify your right tackle of the future and continue from there. Then the Colts, they're loving what's happened in this draft. I'm going Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers locks up that dominant receiving core. You now got Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, Brock Bowers, Jelani Woods, Eric Ogletree, Jonathan Taylor, Zach Moss, a really good offensive line around Anthony Richardson. Your goal is to get the best team you can around Anthony Richardson on his rookie contract and do what you got to do to try and win that AFC South and try and win a Super Bowl. That's what you got to do on his rookie contract. You saw the talent. You saw the skill set he has. Let's now double down on it and grab Brock Bowers and continue his developments. For the Seattle Seahawks, I'm grabbing Jazon Newton. They need help stopping the run. This team was horrible at stopping the run this past year. Jazon Newton himself solves that coming in. As you can see, 7.4% run stop rate. That's amazing. I don't know what else to say about Jazon Newton. I don't see him slipping past 16, but I don't hate any of these picks, right? I think the Falcons is the highest he could go. I think Jazon Newton to the Falcons makes a lot of sense. But everyone else, I like the position where they took more than grabbing the D tackle. But for the Seahawks, they have the luxury. They have a defensive minded head coach. They have a need at D tackle, a guy who can stop the run. I think Jazon Newton is the guy to do that. Then the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm grabbing any corner available, and I'm thinking it's going to be Terrion Arnold. I do have Terrion Arnold a little higher than Nate Wiggins, but not much. Probably a pick or 2 more. But yeah, I think what did the Jaguars run? So they run a lot of press man. I might actually go with Nate Wiggins because of that. They run a heavy blitz, 3 D linemen down, mixture 3-4-4-3 pass rush, and that relies a lot on your cornerbacks to lock up to the receivers so that the defensive line have time to get to the quarterback. So I think they actually need a press man corner, and Nate Wiggins is one of the better press man corners. Only allowed a 43.9% completion percentage. By the way, in the NFL, Joey Porter led with a 41.9% completion percentage allowed. So Nate Wiggins, yes, you probably want to add 4 or 5% when it comes to NFL versus college talent. Still being the sub 48%. That'd be really good for this Jaguars defense who needs help at corner. The Bengals, they could also use corner, but I think I'm going to go tackle. I think you got to go tackle. I think Amarius Mims makes the most sense. You got to protect Joe Burrow. He keeps getting season-ending injuries. You don't want an Andrew Luck type of thing happen where Joe Burrow sustains so many injuries early on before you build that franchise line around him. Grab Amarius Mims, solve right tackle, move on. The LA Rams, I think just best player available. Is there anyone that I have higher? No. Okay. There's no one I have higher. So Dallas Turner is going to be the pick at 14. They do have a UDFA player. Is his name Brian Murphy? Because Byron Murphy's a corner. I think it's Brian Murphy, the edge rusher for the LA Rams. He was a UDFA player, played really well earlier in the season, kind of fell off towards the end of the season. Dallas Turner is a true #1 pass rusher, and you need to help out Aaron Donald as much as you can. Aaron Donald, Kobe Turner are doing amazing at defensive tackle. Get a pass rusher that can help them out. I think Dallas Turner is the answer to that. Then for the Steelers, I mean, it's awesome. Terrion Arnold fell into their hands, basically. Again, Terrion Arnold is one of the better corners in this class. Amazing outside corner. Now Joey Porter Jr. and Terrion Arnold can lock up receivers on the outside. Yeah, really good. And again, if you need to move in the inside corner, you can. But I'll keep him and Joey Porter outside corner and let him develop. Just let him develop. Don't mess with it. They're gonna struggle early on. Corner is one of the harder positions to play. Now Joey Porter hit year 1. Terrion Arnold might not hit year 1. Just let it develop. You got a lot of really good wide receivers in your division. Let it develop. Then the Miami Dolphins. I'm thinking edge rusher. I don't want to grab Liatu Latu because of injury, and they have so many injuries already for that team. Byron Murphy, maybe. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. What about linebacker? There's definitely not a linebacker. I mean, TJ Tampa and Kamari Lassiter. I have first round picks. Tyler Nubin as a first round pick. Maybe you do grab offensive line. Maybe you do grab offensive line. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. What offensive linemen are available? Is oh, hello. Tyler Guyton is still available. I'm not a big fan of Tyler Guyton. I'll say it. I'm fine being the one that's wrong. I'm not a big fan of Tyler Guyton. Jordan Morgan, though, from Arizona, he played really well all year. The thing is, like if you draft a guy, how long is Teron Armstead going to be there? I am a guy Taylor Morgan. Jordan Morgan, sorry. I don't know why I said Taylor Morgan. I'm going to grab Jordan Morgan. As you can see, he improved every year. He is great at everything. I'm just more nervous about, like, is Teron Armstead going to be there for the next year or two? Like, after this upcoming season, is he going to be on the team? And right tackle, you have Austin Jackson, right? So maybe Jordan Morgan for a year plays left guard or right guard, whatever. He is 6'6". That is very tall for a guard. But in the first round, you're planning for the future post Teron Armstead. Have him play guard for a year, or just sit him and let him develop. That would not hurt. I would go pass rusher, but Liatu Latu had injury concerns in college or had to medically retire. Go to UCLA to play again. And you already did that for one player. And your team has so many injuries at pass rusher that you were signing guys off the street to play a playoff game. So I would rather, and I just don't think any of these guys are first round guys. Like Braylon Trice, maybe. Chris Broswell, maybe. Darius Robinson, Chop Robinson, Adisa Isaac, Javon Solomon, Austin Booker, Xavier Thomas, Justin from Alabama. I can never pronounce his name. Mo Kamara, Jasheen Davis, Khalid Duke, JJ Weaver, Brian Ugwu, Zion Tapola Fute. I know how to pronounce his name. I just can't say because I'm saying all these other guys' names. There's so many good pass rushers that are in this later rounds of the class. There's not the same with tackle. Like, there's guys later, yeah, sure. I mean, Blake Fisher, Javon Foster, Nathan Thomas, Andrew Cocker, Roger Rosengarten, Damari Glades, Anthony Belton. Like, there's guys, but not starters. Jordan Morgan is a future starter for you, so I think that makes more sense. Then for the Philadelphia Eagles, it's just Kamari Lassiter. Just grab him. Just Kamari Lassiter. Makes sense. Fills position. He's also a lockdown corner. Had a pretty down season this year still, but I still think he's a great corner. And it's gonna be good in the league. The Texans, man, they're interesting. They're interesting. They already, I don't think it's wide receiver. Maybe they grab Braylon Trice. Maybe they're a Braylon Trice team. What is their safeties looking like? Our lads, Houston. I know obviously there's Jalen Petrie, Jimmy Ward at free safety. Maybe I do go Tyler Nubin here. I'm gonna go Tyler Nubin here. Ball hawk safety, who, yes, can be aggressive at times, but is still a ball hawk safety. Had 5 interceptions last year, right? 5 interceptions. 5 interceptions last year, 43 tackles. Like, just one of the best safeties in this class, just straight up. You have him at free safety. You have Jalen Petrie at strong safety. That makes a lot of sense out of Minnesota. Yes, you can still have Jimmy Ward on the team, but you have a true free safety of the future now in Tyler Nubin. The Cowboys, man, they're interesting as well. I'm going to go Jackson Power Johnson. They're going to let Tyler Biadasz walk. Good. He's fine, but he's not like a franchise center who's worthy of a long-term deal. And as you can see, he has versatility. As you know, this Dallas Cowboys offensive line always gets hurt. Like, significant players always get hurt every year. So having a center who can, if you need to, play left guard, play right guard. But more than likely, he stays center his entire career. He's the best center in this class. As much as I love Cedric Van Pran, Jackson Powers Johnson is a first-round pick. And he's a position in need for the Cowboys. The Packers. I don't think they're going to go pass rusher. Because didn't they just grab a pass rusher last year? I thought they did. I thought they grabbed the pass rusher. Yeah, Lucas Van Ness. So they already grabbed a pass rusher last year. So it's not going to be pass rusher. I think offensive line makes the most sense. Oh, Troy Fontenot. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go Troy. Yeah. I'm going to go Troy Fontenot from Washington. I mean, are we ever going to see David Bakhtiari on a football field again? Probably not. He's injured. I think he's gonna be a cap casualty, whether it's a cut or a trade. I still think he's gonna be on the Packers ever. Whenever you see him in a Packers uniform again. So grab his replacement in Troy, who can start day one at left tackle. That makes the most sense for me. Then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now this team can take a chance on Laiatu Latu. And I think they would. I think they would take that shot. They're a team that likes to take shots on players. Obviously medical risk because of he had to medically retire and go to UCLA, so it's a medical risk. But I think he's worth the upside in my opinion. Of getting that of becoming that late first round pick guy who actually booms. Like, why did he last at 26? Kind of like JOK for the Browns. Like, wow, this guy's a first round talent who went in the second round. So Laiatu Latu could go to the second round, but I like his odds of being in a first round pick. And I think the Buccaneers need a pass rusher. They would probably like Laiatu Latu. That makes a lot of sense. They like those heavy pass rushers, aka they had Joy Tryon-Shoyinka to be that speed rusher, but I think they definitely need a Shaq Barrett power rusher, and that's what Laiatu Latu is. The Cardinals, who did they draft earlier? They got Olu Fashanu. This is where I think they take a wide receiver. So you got basically no one. Marquise Brown is a free agent, so you can just take the best receiver, Brian Thomas Jr. I want to just do that. I'm just gonna grab Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, yes, he's a deep threat, but he has the high upside of being a wide receiver one. Probably should have gone earlier. But I mean, where is he going to go? Where is he going in all this? He's not going to any of these teams. Maybe the Jaguars would take Brian Thomas Jr. Maybe the Raiders. Maybe the Jets. Like he's not going in anywhere from pick 17 all the way to 27. I don't see in those 10 picks a team that needs a wide receiver one. I think Brian Thomas Jr., elite deep threat. He had 18 yards per reception this past season with 17.3. As you can see, 15, 670. He has the body as well for wide receiver one, 6'4", 205. He has a skill set. He has deep ball ability. I think it makes the most sense for him to be a wide receiver one for the Cardinals at 27. Because again, you grab the best tackle in the class and you grab probably the best pure deep threat in the class who still has upside to be a wide receiver one. The Buffalo Bills are interesting. I think wide receiver, like I said, once one goes, a run goes. I love Troy Franklin Jr. I do. I love Troy Franklin Jr. I think he's all around a wide receiver one in the future. So I'm going to go Troy Franklin Jr. Troy Franklin Jr. It's just Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin has been a very fast riser. Him and Tez Walker are my two round one receivers that aren't going to that shouldn't like. I'm going to keep mocking them in the first round, but I'll be shocked if they actually go in the first round. But Troy Franklin to the Bills makes a lot of sense. Stephon Diggs had a really bad year. Outside of that, Gabe Davis is a free agent. I wouldn't re-sign Gabe Davis. You have Khalil Shakir to be that slot receiver. You still have Stephon Diggs as a wide receiver one. Grab Troy Franklin to be wide receiver two with the high upside of becoming the wide receiver one in the future. I think it makes a lot of sense for the Bills to grab a wide receiver like Troy Franklin. 6'3", 205, right? Oh, 6'3", 187. Little, he has room to grow some muscle on him. The Detroit Lions at 29. It's just best corner available. I think it's be TJ Tampa. I like Ennis Rakestraw Jr. I do. Ennis is fine. I don't know, man. I just think this team likes to run man coverage. And TJ is a significantly better man coverage guy. I'm going to go TJ Tampa. Don't be shocked if they go Ennis Rakestraw Jr. But I just think that TJ Tampa, for what this team does, they love their man coverage. I think that would make the most sense for them. The Ravens, they might just immediately go Ennis Rakestraw Jr. I mean, they like the man coverage as well, but they love zone coverage. Ennis is a great zone coverage guy. I think I'm going to go that. Yeah, I think I'm going to feel comfortable that them going Ennis Rakestraw Jr. I'm going to do this trade with the 49ers because the Chiefs won. 49ers, I think corner. Mike Sandstro is the only guy that I would actually think about going in right here. What offensive linemen are available? They might go Tyler Guyton. I don't think any of these guys are. Yeah, I don't think any of these guys are first round picks. Graham Barton. I don't know. Do you want to move in the right tackle? I don't know if you would want to. These are all gonna be left tackles, aren't they? They're all gonna be. I like Christian Haynes. I really like Christian Haynes, but I don't think he's a first round pick. Let's just go corner. Mike Sandstro. That's a reach in my opinion. I don't think he's a first round pick. Oh, I don't know if I like that. I probably would have gone offensive line. I think they need help at offensive line. But I mean, he had a really good season. Obviously, 6 interceptions, but he let up 4 touchdowns. He's a very aggressive corner. I like to see what they could teach him. But he's just a really good outside lockup corner. Then the Chiefs, you guys gonna be shocked what I'm about to do, right? As I said, I don't know if another quarterback goes in this class. I think one does. I think the Minnesota Vikings trade up, whatever they have to do to trade up. I think they grab JJ McCarthy. Now, let me explain why. I think that the Vikings, they want to kind of like what the Rams do. They want to still throw the ball a lot, but they want to set up each throw with a run, right? They want to be a dominant run team who can then off the run throw to Cooper Kupp, throw to Puka Nacua, or throw to Justin Jefferson, throw to Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. I think JJ McCarthy is the best quarterback when it comes off of playing off the run. I think he's also pretty good under pressure. I don't see Michael Penix or Bo Nix being a first round pick. I can't see it. I don't see it. Maybe there'll be a early second round pick, maybe mid to late second round pick. I just don't see him as first round picks. I think JJ McCarthy's the only guy with real upside of maybe being a future starting quarterback who can make a Pro Bowl or two. Maybe lead your team to a Super Bowl like Brock Purdy just did. If you build a team around him. He had 80% completion percentage, guys. Like, he was dominant. Oh, sorry, 72.1, but he had 80% adjusted. He had a 72.1% completion percentage, one of the highest in college football. I'm going JJ McCarthy. Again, I understand not wanting to go a quarterback at 32, but for the Vikings, I think they need a quarterback in the future. You can still sign Kirk Cousins to a year or two deal, right? Because JJ McCarthy, let me go to his age. JJ McCarthy's only 21 years old. He's only 21, so he's still young, right? You could draft JJ McCarthy, re-sign Kirk Cousins to a 1 year, 2 year deal, still be in this window to try and win, and just hand the keys off to JJ McCarthy in a year or two. And he'll be developed. He'll learn from Kirk Cousins how to be more of that, still throw the ball. Right? He has all the building blocks. I just think it makes sense. I think it makes sense. But yeah, that's my mock draft post Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl, post Super Bowl. If you guys enjoy, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit notification to be notified when I post next. Honestly, let me know what you guys don't like about this mock draft. I like almost every pick I did. I think the only one I would probably redo is maybe the Buccaneers. I think the 49ers as well. I think they can go offensive line, but yeah, I'm not against any of the picks I did. I think the Jordan Morgan pick was a little interesting as well, but you got to take risks sometimes. But if you guys enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Peace and bye.